Hi, my name is Debbie Melendez. Today I'm going to show you how to make arroz con pollo. Many people do it many different ways. This is my way. And one of the reasons why I don't have a bunch of ingredients on my counter is because the first part of this is going to take a few minutes, so I don't want to have everything out just sitting there waiting for this portion to get done. Now I'm doing a larger size because I'm doing this for a party. What I have here is 6 large thighs. And what I'm going to do is boil them, season them until they're like falling off the bone. And when I come back, I will show you how to, what they're supposed to look like to go to the next step. Now, I'm going to turn on my stove. Mine goes from 0 to 10, so I'm going to put it at 8. Now, I have an electric stove, so that makes it just vary. I'm going to put it into the water. And what I'm going to do now is season them with adobo. You just want to lightly season it so that when it's boiling, it has a little bit of flavor. Now, I'm just pouring this because I know how much I want into it to taste, to my liking. So I'm going to boil this, and when I come back, I will show you what it looks like and what to do from there. This has been boiling for about a half an hour, and as you can see, it's still tough. What I'm waiting for is for the meat to just come off the bone. And only one thing I want to say is a lot of people use chicken breasts. I love using chicken thighs because it holds the juices in. It's easier to, it holds the seasonings in. It doesn't come out dry if you overcook it or anything like that. So they're just boiling, and I also forgot to tell you that when you place the chicken in the water, it has to be at least 2 inches of water. This water looks a little deeper because the chicken is in there, so it kind of rose the water. But anyway, we'll come back when it's finally done. Okay. So what I did was I took the chicken out of the broth, out of the water. As you can see, there's all the broth from the chicken, all the flavors are in there. I do not discard this. What I do is I take the broth, once I remove the chicken, and I put it in a separate bowl for later. Look at all that juice, the flavors. It's actually a fresh bowl of chicken broth that I got from the chicken. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the pieces of chicken, and I'm going to remove. Now this is going to be the longest process of this recipe. You could buy the thighs without the bone. You could buy the thighs without the bone, or I just find the thighs with the bone. It's a little bit of work, but it comes out cheaper because it is expensive. So I'm going to remove the fat, throw that out, and I'm going to remove all the meat from the bone. You see how tender that is? It's coming out. See all that? You're going to keep all this, remove the bone, and you're keeping, of course, the meat. So sometimes you're going to have to dig in your hands in there, but I'm not doing that because this is, again, like I said, for a party, so I don't want to touch anything. I'm taking out the bones. I'm going to do all the rest of the pieces, and I'm going to show you what I do next afterwards. Here I removed all the chicken from the bone. I took all the fat out. I have my broth that was left over from the chicken cooking. I have here 2 tablespoons of olives, which has some of the juice in it, which is very important. I have sofrito, I have cumin, I have a little bit of adobo. It has it in the broth, but in case you need a little more seasoning, I have my rice and my oil and my little packet of sazon. Okay, now begins the process. I have my stove on 8. I'm waiting for this to get hot. What I'm going to do is put about 2 tablespoons of oil into the mix. Now, while that's heating up, I'm going to get the chicken and the sofrito ready. Now what I did was I used, these are famous for making rice, about 2 tablespoons of sofrito. Now, the reason why I don't add garlic and more cilantro is because it's all in the sofrito, and trust me, the flavor comes out regardless. You don't have to add any more. This is just me. So what I'm going to do is pour the sofrito in. I'm going to put in the packet of sazon. I am going to add the olives. See, it has some juice in there that adds a little flavor to it. And once this gets heated up, I start frying it up. It's still got it. It has to get a little hot. Start stirring it around. Should probably get my mitt. And you want to make sure you fry up all the ingredients, because remember, sofrito has onions, garlic, peppers, so you want to cook that a little bit. And I don't know why it's taking so long. And what you're going to do is add the chicken. Finally frying up. And what you're going to do, the best thing is to cook the chicken prior to adding the rice and all that. You want to make sure that chicken is cooked. You see how all the pieces are like, they're still juicy, and you're frying all the seasonings, the sofrito, all that's getting in there. See the colors mixing in. You just keep stirring it until it gets all that flavor in there. You might want to chop up some of the big pieces because you want bite-sized pieces. You don't want big chunks. Some people put the whole chicken pieces in there. It's too much work. You just want to eat when you're hungry. You don't want to pick bones out. You just want it, and that's it. Okay, so that's frying in there. Now what I'm going to do is add my rice. Again, you want to incorporate all the flavors into the rice. You want to fry it up a little bit. Make sure everything's stirred in. Now you start to see the rice frying up. You see the little like white things in there. It doesn't matter, it's mixed. Now I'm going to take my broth that I boiled the chicken in. I'm going to add that. I'm going to stir that in. Oops, I got to lower this. It's getting too high. Mix it all in there. And what I'm going to do is add more water, and you're only going to add there I go again. And you're going to mix this in, removing everything from the bottom. And you're going to add more water. And what you want to do is have enough water, at least an inch, over the rice. I'm going to show you once I get this all evened out. Threw in my cumin, stirring it in. You don't want to stir too much because then the rice comes out too, as we call it, mogollao. Okay, so everything's even. You're going to crank up the heat to about 7. And if you can see, it has like an inch over the rice. The liquid has to be an inch or an inch and a half over the rice for it to cook thoroughly. See that? Okay, so when we come back, I will show you what it's going to look like and what to do next. If you listen closely, you can hear the crackling. What you want to hear, and I'll show you that later, it's still cooking. It's still in the process. And it has, all the fluids has to dry out. So I just wanted to show you on this step how it's supposed to look. And it still has to cook a few more minutes. And then from there, we're almost done. This is pretty much done. It's dried out, you can see. You can hear the crackling. There's hardly any water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower it down to a 2. Remember, it goes from 0 to 10 on my stove. My stove is electric again. What I'm going to do is take some frozen vegetables before I cover them. This is about a half a pound, but this is, like I said, this is a large pot. I'll put my recipe on for less, those are my birds, I'm sorry. They're part of my family. I'm going to cover it, keep it on low, and that will steam the vegetables so they're still crunchy, and then we'll mix that all up and I'll show you the product afterwards. Okay, so let's check on this. Now this is what you're looking for. Look at the beautiful colors, the vegetables, the chicken. Look at the chicken. It is amazing. You don't want people fighting with the bones, the skin. All the fat has been removed. All the flavors are in that little piece, believe it or not. It is amazing. So what you're going to do is stir it all around and just incorporate all the vegetables into the rice, and you have your arroz con pollo. And it's got your vegetables in there, so it's healthy. See that? Look at that. Delicious. Delicious. And I have to tell you, my kitchen, the aroma is amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, there go my birds again. All right, babies. Look at this. Look at that. All the vegetables. Look at that. And you could add anything you want to this. Hot sauce, whatever it is that you like. And trust me, the flavor is phenomenal. So, catch up with me on my next recipe at facebook.com/DebbieLovesCooking for my next recipe. Trust me, and I promise, this is going to be perfect. Bye-bye.